So tell me, which gameplay do you prefer?
This one? Or this one?
Alright, so let's try this again, but in real life. I actually believe that POV is as much important in video game as it is in real life. Like, do you feel how much more breathable this feels, how much more immersive and realistic compared to a closer lens like that? Like, this feels way more claustrophobic and way closer. You feel way more in a gel compared to the wider feel of the ultra wide. So FOV is as much important in video game as it is in real life when you're trying to record footage, in my opinion. So let's compare it with the GoPro POV. Do you prefer this? Or this? So we now agree that a wider field of view really does improve the realism when trying to achieve an immersive experience instead of a cinematic one, right? Now for the pros of having a higher FOV. So first of all, you get more surrounding awareness and it can prevent embarrassing moments. After, it reduces the tunnel vision feeling or claustrophobia. Next, there is less motion sickness and especially at higher frame rate. In addition, having the option to change the FOV add a lot of freedom and control to the game. There is also a general sense of better feeling / satisfying effect. You really need to play it yourself to actually feel the difference. You get a feeling that you move faster as well. And there's way more benefits, of course. And now for the cons of having a higher FOV. You get lower gaming performance because the game has to show you more. At the same time, the visual clarity is lowered, especially at higher distance. After that, the higher the FOV, the higher the distortion you're gonna get. In contrast, having an excessive FOV may also give motion sickness. Next, a higher FOV may lead to some bugs and issues with the game engine. To follow, the target and shooter games are going to be way smaller than with a smaller FOV. One other thing important is that the mouse sensitivity may not always scale correctly in every game, leading to inconsistency. Okay, now some quick fun facts. Most esport players use high FOV. Remember the old Fortnite? FOV slider was not an option, so we had to get creative and decided to play in 4/3 aspect ratio to get an artificially higher FOV. Good time. One of the best argument to get a PC instead of console has always been the liberty in FOV choices, and this shows how important people think this is. Obviously, recently some console games supported FOV sliders, but it's still far from the freedom of custom res, game file editor, and more broadly available and less restrictive FOV slider in-game. By the way, adding more surrounding is especially useful for us humans because our peripheral vision is really good with certain changes. Conclusion. As human, our eyesight is probably the most important sense we got, and our field of view may be one of our most sensitive things we can feel. Therefore, in games or even real life footage, prioritizing field of view is usually the most important thing to do when trying to achieve an immersive experience instead of a cinematic one.